Hi, and welcome to my life. Here we are on January 5th in sunny central Texas. It wasn't very sunny this morning or the last couple of days. We had some rain, and I got up this morning to an alert that there was patchy, dense fog in the area. And the area shown on the map was from north of me to south of Buda. So I have no idea how many people might have had a little trouble in that. That's a lot of area. And it's area with horrible traffic. But I went out with the grandson today anyway. The older grandson wanted a game for a device he got for Christmas. Okay, I'm game. We'll go out. And he has a driver's license, so he got to drive a lot. Until I got tired of it. Rubbing my tires on the curb at his dad's house in his hurry to get parked is not good for my tires or my patience. But that's okay. I've seen people do worse to vehicles. And it is getting towards time to replace, know almost about it. I need new tires soon. But I'm not going to tell him that has probably hastened the demise of my tires. Things just happen. But he got the game he had to have, and he got the SIM card he needs. And I asked the guy at the store, is this going to work? Can I get a bigger one? And the guy points down on the bottom shelf and says, that one's bigger. I'm like, all right, let's get that one. 512 gigs of SIM card. Beauty. Anyone who has ever gone, oh my god, I can't save my game unless I delete stuff, will understand that that's a whole lot of saving your game. Or loading the files that you need to load to make something playable on a Switch Lite. Happy teenager. And then we got most of the way back from his dad's, where he had left his student ID that he is going to need Monday morning. And off we go to get him his lovely favorite food. He loves Panda Express. I cannot describe how much this child loves Panda Express. Okay, at 16 and driving, I probably don't need to call him a child. This young man, though, jobless still. I mean, he's in high school. And I would rather have him work on his talents and desires and understanding himself than to rush into the first burger flipping, dead end, absolute nothing job he could find. That's pretty much close to what I told my son at a similar age. He's like, should I get a job and pay rent? And I'm like, no. You get better at what you do. Of course, at that age, my son was doing volunteer work online for cybersecurity sort of stuff. Things like, how do we keep this server good so that it doesn't get kicked out of this network? How do we keep control of things? How do we whatever? And he knows that stuff better than I do. But he was doing it, and he was doing it well. And he went from there to a job at a major company. And he's still at that. It's a career, not a job. When you're over 30, closing in on 40, and still at the same place, it could be worse. He's got insurance. When he had major health issues last year, that wasn't too much of a concern. And I think more people, I can understand if a kid needs more money than they can make mowing lawns immediately around their parents' home, then I could see getting that burger flipping job. But I can also see, oh, you have this ability. You have this skill set. I mean, seriously, this guy could be a voice actor. I just suggested a little while ago, that he could be doing voice character ringtones specific. You have a favorite. You want something from a cartoon that is no longer made. You have a few favorite lines, whatever. Do you know how much it costs to get a major star to do something like that? It can be a bit expensive. He can undercut because he's a teenage boy still living in his mom and grandparents' home. He could get it. He could get exposure by doing some for his friends. Some of his friends have in mind to do something, and they're all going to do their various voices. And they told him to do a country boy voice. I told him, well, if you don't already have one established, you go get on YouTube and watch old episodes of Hee Haw and hope you don't get stuck, because that's your family. If you don't believe that's his family, check out this kind of wall over here behind me. I live in a trailer park at the end of civilization, north of Austin. I could seriously turn my phone around and show you 2 different Dodge trucks. But there's no point. I mean, there's those 2. One gets used for runs to the dump. The other one is a rolling toolbox with more in it than I can describe. And then at the end of the front walk is my daughter's Ford. It probably should be classed as an SUV, but it's a truck frame as a vehicle, and that's fine. And then parked right next to that is my Xterra, which is also basically a truck. I love it. It's my adventure truck. Some people have heard me use that phrase before. I have got my martial arts gear in it, and I don't even have to fold the seat down to fit in camping gear. And actually, I could use a camping trip. Been a little too stuck in civilization lately. Although I think the trip out to our friend's cabin to look and hope for deer was pretty much a camping trip, but I need more than that. I need fewer people and a slightly wilder location. And I like people. I mean, it's not that. I need times and places that are calm and quiet where I can hear birds, where the sound of a squirrel exploring can be identified. Or, oh, there's little pad, bunny rabbit over there. Right now, closest thing I got to bunny rabbit is my little dog. Say hi, Dyson. This is Dyson. Hey, buddy. Yeah. Bad case of dog breath. But he is a scrounger. That's just what's common to his breed. But as far as Chihuahuas go, I like the longer fur and the more hound-like face over those little bulbous, freakish-looking things. But that's my life. This is the one we found. We kept him alive. And he's my good boy. He's going to help me eat brisket later. That's cool. But it's not cooked at home brisket. I had to stop and get some. Although with the weather looking pretty good, we should probably get some tri-tip or something and throw it in the smoker. I don't know. And I have a nice lamb roast I need to be putting on the rotisserie at some point. Rotisserie up here next to me. Your front deck has to have at least 2 means of cooking. Seriously. And there's more down on the ground next to the shed and stuff. There's a little Weber Q, whatever. I mean, that's a tiny thing. You can put it on a table. We currently have it on a stand. And I like it. It's easy to use. You take the screw-on green propane bottles, or use an adapter and a large bottle if you're not going to move it around much. We've got a propane grill. We've got a smoker. We've got a pit-style smoker. It's an offset. You build the fire on one side in this lower chamber, and you can also grill over that fire. And the smoke travels into the smoke chamber, which is great, and smokes your brisket. And you can have fire going all day, smoking the biggest brisket you can find, or the biggest turkey and ham, or whatever. And it's lovely, but it's a lot of fire maintenance. The electric smoker will do, I don't know, it's got 4 or 5 racks in it, so it'll do a lot of food all at one time. But when it comes to vegetables, the propane grill is probably the easiest thing to use, because, and if you like your vegetables, and seriously, I avoid eating vegetables or anything else that's high carb, like bread, noodles, potatoes, pasta, and most things that come in packages. We call that the carnivore diet because I do eat my meat. And you have your pudding if you haven't eaten your meat, right? And pudding can be as easy as Bella, the steak and butter gal's steamed egg pudding. I actually use some dairy in my life, so I would probably beat that egg with some heavy cream, which would make it a custard. Maybe a tiny bit of the same sweetener I use on the rare occasion I put any in my coffee. Mostly for me, coffee is black, and every now and then some cream. And even more rare than the cream is the sweetener my daughter buys for. It's liquid, so stirring it into iced tea or something is easy and doesn't leave you a mess of undissolved crap at the bottom of the glass. In fact, now that I've expressed it that way, I think I need to do some custard. I think that would be delicious. And sadly, while I was in the store with the grandson, I forgot to grab a little bottle of vanilla, because I know I'm out. And vanilla makes my coffee taste good. It goes especially well with the cream. Now, sometimes I make poached eggs, and I'll put a little tiny bit of cream on the plate, and then when the eggs come out, and they're on a slotted spoon, I bring that slotted spoon to the folded paper towels, get the extra water off, and then I lay them in that cream, and the yolk combines with that when I cut them up. It's so tasty. And of course, it's just not something I eat every day, but it's something I eat occasionally. And now I have to take the little dog in the house because one of the neighbors' livestock has wandered into my yard. It's a chicken. If it attacks me, it might become a dinner, because roosters will do that. And he's got full-length spurs. I gotta make sure the doggy has no interest in him. Alright, so that's it for me for now. And life goes on. Y'all take care of yourselves, because that's what every grandma wants you to do, is to be okay and take care of yourself. See ya.